A video from Wednesday when I did a bit of fishing on my priest. Um, the long and the short of this is obviously you need to be in a raid group, right? So find a buddy, or if you've got multiple accounts, find an alt. And there are 3 different macros that I'm using here, which I'll show you in a second here. But the biggest help is this weak aura. I will also link that in chat. It is called something's fishing helper. The name I can't pronounce, but it's extraordinarily useful. You kind of need it. But basically, you zone in. You click macro number 1. That's going to target the Eye of Cthulhu and cast Mind Vision, which then brings you to the Eye of Cthulhu. You need to wait a second here because the other mobs aren't actually... they're there, but they haven't actually become visible yet. So you need to wait a second while they spawn. Then you click macro number 2, which will jump you over to this pack here, and you can see the mobs starting to phase in. Once all of the mobs have phased in, you can click macro number 3. Now macro number 3 is just a simple targeting macro that will target the Mind Slayers and the Slayers. But because of the way that WoW is coded, it allows this weak aura to pick up all of their UIDs and tell you how many of each there are over here on the left. So you can see that this one says that there are 24 Mind Slayers and 4 Slayers. This is the worst possible instance. However, you'll also know that it marks 28 out of 32. Occasionally, some of the pats that are closer to Twin Emps Room won't be close enough when you get to this spot to register all of them. So you get a general idea of the instance that you're in based on this number. And then if it's a decent instance, you can scout further in for the other ones, which I'll show you how to do toward the end of this video real quick. So this one wasn't good. You quickly zone out. This weak aura has a built-in reset button, so you just click on that button, you click reset, you go back in. It's real fast. Because 40-man raids don't have the per-day lockout, you can do this infinitely. So you go back, you do the thing, you do the thing. This one's a little bit better. This one's got 11 Mind Slayers, 18 Slayers, but again, I'm missing 3 units on this one. I don't like this. 11's too much. My personal goal is always 8 or less. But you'll find that that often takes quite some time. So I'm going to scroll forward a little bit so you can see the final lockout that I do. So once you get back in and you find a decent lockout, one that does not have a particularly high number of Mind Slayers, a perfect instance, the number of Slayers that you have are, or the number of Mind Slayers that you have, are in as few packs as possible. So you'll see right here, oh, this isn't the one. Forward. Yeah, it's this one. Yeah. Back. So I get to the Anubisath here. I hit my target button, and this one says 6 Mind Slayers. Now I'm happy. This is an instance that makes me happy. But I'm still missing 4 units. So in theory, this could be a 10 Mind Slayer instance. So what you do from here is you can start hopping between these packs. So you target a pack, you Mind Vision to it, and the thing that you'll see me doing is I am going to mouse over every single one of these individually, checking over here to make sure that the mouse over count section of this has updated with that pack. This will give me a perfectly accurate representation. I'm also keeping in mind the distribution of the Mind Slayers. So this pack has 3. That's a good sign. If there are 6 total and one pack has 3, that means I might have another pack that only has 3. Then we'll have to deal with 2 packs, and it's a wonderful thing. So I hop around a bit. I mouse over each one of them, making sure the weak aura updates. And you make your way slowly down this tunnel toward the Twin Emps Room. This pack right here is easy to jump to. The next few packs are not so easy. So after you get to this one, you typically want to target a Scorpion or a Scarab further into the tunnel, which you'll probably see me do here. But so far this has been a wonderful lockout. So over here I find a Scarab, I jump to the Scarab, and that lets me jump to the other ones more quickly. You can, of course, just wait for another pat to come, but that tends to be tedious. So now I'm down here. I see one with a single Mind Slayer in it. That's not a good sign, but they're slowly figuring out the exact makeup of this. I believe this ends up being a 7 Mind Slayer, no, 8 Mind Slayers. So you'll see now that I've moused over 31 of the 32 individuals. I've seen them all, though, so I've got a good idea. This is the one that I ended up keeping. So it had my goal of 8 or less. And this also happened to be 943, so I wasn't going to have time to do more anyway. This round of scouting took me about 35 minutes to find this lockout. When I did it for Dark Moon Fair Week, it was about 2 hours to get the 7 lockout that we ended up keeping. During that time, I found 2 other 8 lockouts. So typically, if you're going for 8 or less, it's going to take you between half an hour and an hour to get there. But obviously, if we have multiple priests doing this every morning, we multiply that by however many priests or divide it by however many priests. The important thing here, though, that you probably won't see is you cannot leave now. You have found the right instance, you're stuck here. Whoever finds the instance cannot zone out. They have to be the one to do the raid invites, and only after other people come in here and we swap leadership can you leave the group and do other things. So if you are choosing to scout, you typically want to do so on a character that you do not mind just sort of sitting around. Notice I'm not buffed. I can't. You're not going to get buffed if you're doing this on a character that you're bringing to raid. Obviously, world buffs not that important for priests, but the more people that have them, the better.
So, but I guess a priest could go in, find the lockout, and then someone that had like an extra account, they could bring one of their characters in to hold it while the priest went out and got buffed.
You would think, but the answer is no. On Wednesday of Dark Moon Fair Week, Legit and I tried that. He actually held a couple of the 8 Mind Slayer lockouts that I found while I continued to look for something better. And what we found, for whatever reason, is despite giving him lead and then leaving the group, he still could not get other people into his instance. Don't know why that's the case, haven't figured out a way around that, don't know how to fix it, but for now that is the case. Now, these three whatchamacallums, macros for you. Let me swap screens real quick. Oh, hey, look, I just got Oni buff. Cool. So those 3 macros down here. I have them marked 1, 2, 3 just for ease of use. The first one is fairly simple. It's /tar Eye of Cthulhu /cast Mind Vision. The second one is just as simple. You /target an Anubisath Warder and cast Mind Vision. And then the third one needs to target both Karaji Slayers and Karaji Mind Slayers. But again, I will post those macros along with a link to the weak aura. Simple enough?
Yeah, can you explain what exactly the third one does? I mean,
Yes.
Do you have to spam it, or
nope?
or
You click it once. All this does is allows the weak aura that you use to access the IDs of every single Slayer and Mind Slayer within target range. So this macro will target one of them, but that's not the goal. The goal is to populate the weak aura with data. So if I swap back, so swapping back to the video, over here, this GUID count, when you target, these are the numbers that will will pop up. All right, so if I back up just a little bit, okay. So right here, I'm mind vision the Eye of Cthulhu. That's macro 1. Macro 2 jumps to this warder over here. And then if you pay attention to this section right here where the GUID count is set, as soon as I hit macro 3, it tells me how many Mind Slayers and how many Slayers are within targeting range. That way, you know, if you're doing these quickly, you can quickly take a look at this and say, oh, this lockout has 12 Mind Slayers. This isn't a good one. And you don't have to go through the process of jumping from pack to pack to pack to decide whether or not you like the lockout. You get a little snapshot there. Any other questions? Alrighty then.